Apple is rarely first, it's usually better though. What did they unveil that you think will be better than already exists?
Look, I think first they had to keep the playbook close to the vest because this is not going to launch in another 4 or 5 months. But I thought, look, the key here, it's them making themselves a distribution platform. And I think that was clear in terms of not just on the streaming video, but we believe they'll bundle this with gaming and some of the other services. That's the golden goose. I mean, can they get to 100 million subscribers in the next 3 to 4 years? If they do, I think that's going to be significant to the multiple on the stock. That's why this is a forest for the trees. A lot of the haters will hate. We believe it was a step in the right direction.
So let's talk about something else, Dan. It's the financials of this pivot away from hardware and towards services. This is a cash machine. Apple is an ATM. It's very, very profitable. Dan, what they are looking to do with what was unveiled in the last 24 hours, is this equally as profitable?
Oh, I mean, it's more profitable if you look at the services business, and that's why it's so important in terms of the valuation. We think $400 to $450 billion of the valuation is services. And I think right now it's about the recurring revenue stream and the monetization. We believe this is going to translate into another $7 to $10 billion of incremental revenue per year. And that's sort of the key here, is that this is the first step of a broader strategy, and we continue to think a major content acquisition will happen between now and when they launch the service in the fall.
So, Dan, you've mentioned this before, but I wondered whether the story yesterday was actually this makes it less likely that we'll get a big acquisition on the content side. Why does this make it more likely still?
Well, because to some extent, the distribution, they're going to continue to focus on that. But from an original content perspective, I think right now, from a shows and what they want to compete and where they want to price this, they need significantly more content. It's not going to be piecemeal in terms of how they're going to do it, which is why we do believe an acquisition of a Lionsgate, A24, Sony Pictures. We continue to think that that's more likely than not over the next 5 to 6 months. And that's why you look at what the stock's done the last few months, it comes down to the street starting to recognize the services value here. And I think yesterday was a linchpin to that broader strategy.
So, Dan, final question. How does this show up in a multiple? Because we've heard this for the better part of 12, 18 months now. Pivot away from hardware towards services. The services business, high growth, really decent margins. It attracts a better multiple. When do I start to see that show up more materially, Dan?
Well, I think later this year into next year is where you see the re-rating. I think you're starting to see early signs of it, and I think very similar to how we viewed AWS to Amazon in terms of that re-rating, you're going to start to see that, especially as they launch this and you start to see subscribers come on the platform. Look what they've done with Apple Music. I see a very similar thing, and I think this is what I view as a linchpin to the broader services strategy for Cook and Cupertino.